Episode 60 this week, the Tholian Web. This one, pretty strange. It won an Emmy, actually. Won an Emmy for special effects, but boy was it strange. The Enterprise, flying through space, and they come across this other starship in distress. So Kirk beams over there with his landing party. Everyone on board that ship had killed each other. Some sort of mutiny or something had happened. They didn't understand what had taken place, but the crew was all dead at their own hands. And they run into some problems. The transporters aren't working properly, so they can only beam 2 people back at a time. Kirk stays behind. Then he gets caught in the transporter buffer. Doesn't make it back to the Enterprise. Spock's like, well, there's some sort of weird spatial thing. He'll be back at this exact time. We can bring him back then. McCoy doesn't like it. He doesn't like it at all. In this race called the Tholians show up. They say, hey, this is our space. Spock's like, well, we gotta wait for the captain. There's a spatial thing. They're like, we don't believe you. Fight ensues. Phaser fire exchanges. And that throws things off balance, so Kirk doesn't come back when Spock predicted. His calculations were disturbed. They're like, well, now we have to wait some more, and I don't know how long, because they threw out the calculations. He and McCoy bicker back and forth. They end up declaring Kirk dead, have his memorial. McCoy insists that they have to go play a tape that Kirk had left in the event of his death. They go do that. Kirk tells them to lean on each other since he's obviously dead. They're like, oh, okay. Then Uhura sees this green-hued ghost of Kirk in her mirror, freaks out. They take her to sickbay. The crew had started turning on each other, going mad. Chekhov, of course, naturally, he goes mad all the time. He goes mad in almost every episode this season. Lots of fights breaking out. McCoy and Spock at each other's throats off and on. Mostly on. Then they start seeing Kirk in other spots. Green-hued ghost he is. They figure out how to bring him back. They bring him back. They defeat the Tholians. Get out of there. And Kirk's like, well, it's a good thing I had that tape. That must have made a huge difference for you two. McCoy and Spock's like, we don't know anything about a tape. We never played it. Didn't get to that. Kirk's like, oh, I thought that would have made the difference. They're like, nope, sorry. And that's how it ends. Some interesting notes. This one, like I said, won an Emmy for special effects. Special effects. The Tholian commander, voiced by James Doohan, who was the go-to for voices if they needed a voice for an alien. He voiced it. It was one of the few episodes where the core 7 cast members were all present. Nurse Chapel, Uhura, Chekhov, Sulu, Scotty, McCoy, they were all there with Spock and Kirk. All of them. There was also very little outside the Enterprise presence. It was just on the view screen. So they didn't have any type of off-ship shenanigans going on, except for the ship they transported to, which was a redress of the Enterprise. It was probably one of the cheaper episodes to make, even with all the special effects. They just redressed the Enterprise sets and called it a different ship was all they did. That ship also was called the Defiant, which of course later became the principal ship on Deep Space Nine. So pretty much episode 60.